Hey, good morning, everybody. Jeff Slakey and Spencer Hughes on the Daybreak Show. On the phone line, couple great folks from Mason Transit Authority. Danette Brannon is here. Also, Mike Rangenberg, the operations manager. Good morning, Danette. Good morning, Mike. How you doing?
Great. Good morning.
Mike, let's start with you as we got some news releases out from Mason Transit on the great news of an increase in service. You know, you guys had to take some constrictions here as lots of ridership was down, but as we're moving from phase 2 and potentially next week into phase 3 in Mason County, we're seeing more folks needing to ride the buses. And so the opportunity and the drivers are coming back too. Is that right?
That is right. We've got almost all of our drivers back, and we appreciate them all coming back.
What are, are all the routes back to normal service, or where are we at with this?
We basically doubled our service from 1 June until 15 June. We basically doubled our service. We don't have all the routes back yet, but we did bring back about 10 trips to Olympia. We've got 13 zipper routes inside of Shelton right now coming back. We've got another couple trips going back to Bremerton. So we're trying to get more and more of the commuters back to work right now. It's kind of our big focus, is trying to get folks back to work like we are.
So one thing that, as I'm looking at this, and at the radio station, you know, we're analyzing every aspect of how we do things. And I would imagine this too is a time where you guys can go back and look at the data and understand, well, even when we were fully operational, this route at this time was very low ridership. Are you guys going and having these conversations about ways to enhance the service on the routes that are more heavily used than others?
I can answer that. Yes, we are. That is one of the things we've been working on through this whole change of first reducing our service, and now as we bring things back, we are looking at what was productive, what wasn't productive, and making those changes, and again, trying to find what does our community need in regards to bus transportation. And so it's a great opportunity. We've looked at this as a time to refocus our priorities, as well as find out what is working and what isn't working. We're able to try things that maybe normally we would not have been able to so easily. Like we can for the last couple of weeks, we've had just a route to Milchie once the casino reopened.
Right.
So we're finding that successful. So we're looking at new opportunities through this as well.
Talk to me a little bit about some of the ways that you guys are protecting the drivers. They are the ones that are sitting there in the seat for multiple hours on a shift, interacting with the public. I know people are entering from the back doors of the bus, but what else is available? And do you have any restrictions on ridership when it comes to face coverings?
Yeah, right now we're asking all of our passengers to wear masks to protect themselves and to protect our drivers. Our drivers are also wearing masks. The buses get deep cleaned every night, and in between routes, the drivers and supervisors can also wipe down highly touched surfaces. We've also, you'll see some like yellow plastic chains covering up some seats we're basically social distancing on the buses to where a normal bus will hold 35 or 40 people sitting down. Right now, that'll hold 10. So we got about a 6-foot safe zone or a clear zone between passengers so they can get on the bus with not infringing on somebody else's spaces. And it's been very good for us. The challenge is when the bus gets full, we have to have another bus come in behind it like a ride recovery to pick up the extra passengers so we don't miss anybody out there.
Yeah.
Instead of running Walmart, we're running 10.
Yeah, let's talk about that ride recovery option. Tell me more about that.
When a driver gets up to, like, say, a bus stop and they notice they've got too many people at the bus stop, they radio back to dispatch and say, hey, I've got 8 people on the bus and I've got 4 at the stop. I'm going to put 2 on the bus. Can you send a ride recovery? And then the driver will tell the two people at the bus stop, hey, there's going to be a bus and it's going to be here in about 2 minutes. Can you just hold tight?
Wow.
And then the passenger gets up about 2 minutes later and they get on and they go to the same location, just on a different bus, to keep the social distancing.
How's the response to that been?
It's been very good. The passengers love the expanded routes coming back. They were not happy when we reduced service. They understood it. But now that the service is coming back, we're getting more and more passengers every day, so that's good news for us.
Let's talk about the transit center a little bit. The events, there's the different events that people have, events in the gym area, job fairs, things like that. That's obviously, I'm sure, still closed down, but other access to that area, where are we at right now?
So yeah, we aren't having events there like we were until we're probably into phase 4. And of course people just aren't scheduling, but we have reopened the atrium. We did have that closed down for a while. Customer services, the office is open there to help riders, and pretty much everything else is open, just not events are being scheduled at this time.
And that customer service kiosk already was protected. It had already glass coverings and all that.
Yes, yes, we do. And we've now, we've marked off the safe distances. So we only allow 2 people at a time in the customer service area. And then we've marked off in our informational kiosk area. We have also marked that off so that there's social distancing practices. So we clean. Our staff down there is cleaning regularly, wiping surfaces, just doing whatever we can to keep things safe and clean and still accessible so people can get the information they need.
And finally, on fares in Mason County, it's no fare. Obviously, but you have extended that into outside of the county. Is that going to continue on, or are we bringing back the fare structure?
Right now, we're still going to continue on through the end of the month, and then we'll reevaluate where we're at in, aspects of still keeping our drivers safe, keeping the passengers safe by using the rear door. We are putting barriers, driver barriers in some of our buses. So if a bus has a barrier for the driver, then we'll reopen the front door for access. And then at that point, we'll consider bringing fares back out of county.
Well, transit, of course, is a very integral part to the movement of people throughout any community. And Mason Transit has been working hard for many, many years, making sure folks are able to get where they need to go safely. And it's even been increased so much more here during this pandemic. Very happy to talk with you, Mike and Danette. Good to talk with you too. We'll check in once we move a little bit further down the road and see how else Mason Transit's doing. Okay.
Sounds great. Have a great day.
Take care.
Thank y'all.